and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Ooh, I've got a great interview coming up a little bit later in the show with Lala and Randall from Vanderpump Rules, and we're going to get into all of that, what happened on the show last night, as well as everything they reveal in that interview. But first, let's get into some real juicy information, okay? I don't know if you guys know this because it's like there's so little news besides the corona, but here is some juice to take your mind away from it. As you know, Harry and Meghan are in LA. They are delivering food to people. They are volunteering. I predicted they'd buy a house in the Palisades. Someone said they were looking at a house in Bel Air. Um, I still believe the Palisades is where they're going to end, but it might be in Bel Air next to Sutton, the newest Real Houses of Beverly Hills. I don't know. But the thing that really started this whole thing about them leaving, as you guys know, is when people believed her half sister and her father that Meghan had forgotten her family and ghosted her dad before the wedding. And we were seeing things of him in the tabloids with these setup shots. And then he did interviews saying, I want to be at the wedding. Now I have a heart attack. Anyway, in the articles that were written, I guess, they went and sued them. The Duchess of Sussex, then in response to the lawsuit against the Associated Newspapers, it comes to light the exchanges that she and Harry actually had with her father, Thomas Markle, leading up to the wedding. And these texts are very interesting. So I'm going to read them to you. So on May 14th, 2018, Thomas Markle confirmed that he would not be attending the wedding. And after trying to call him for about 30 minutes, Harry texted Thomas, according to the documents. So they have these texts. Tom, Harry again. Really need to speak to you. You do not need to apologize. We understand the circumstances, but going public will only make the situation worse. Harry texted from Meghan's cellular device on May 14th, 2018, per the papers. He goes on. This is my Harry impression. If you love Meg and you want to make it right, please call me, as there are two other options which don't involve you having to speak to the media, who incidentally created this whole situation. Very nice. He's not blaming the dad. He's not blaming half-sister Samantha. So please call me so I can explain. Meg and I are not angry. We just need to speak to you. Thanks. Oh, and speaking to the press will backfire. Trust me, Tom. Only we can help, as we've been trying to from day one, Harry told his father-in-law to be. Thomas Markle allegedly did not respond to the couple at the time and would later share with TMZ that he'd gone to the hospital after he experienced a heart attack, which was the first that Meghan knew of it, according to the docs. He ultimately then missed the wedding. What's more, Meghan, 38, made further attempts to contact her father on May 15th and explained to her father that she was very concerned. So per the docs, this is the text message that she wrote him on May 15th. I've been reaching out to you all weekend, but you're not taking any of my calls or replying to any texts. Very concerned about your health and safety and have taken every measure to protect you, but not sure. See, this is Meghan's voice, but with a slight English accent because it's rubbing off on her. Not sure what more we can do if you don't respond. Do you need help? Can we send a security team down? I'm very sorry to hear that you're in the hospital, but need you to please get in touch with us. What hospital are you at? See, I go in and out of the English accent because she's still from California. Okay. Then she sent up a follow-up text. Harry and I made a decision earlier today, and we are dispatching the same security guys, and you turned away this weekend to be a presence on the ground to make sure you're safe. They will be there at your disposal as soon as you need them, her message stated, according to the court papers. Please, please call me as soon as you can. All of this is incredibly concerning, but your health is most important. Very nice. In the legal filings alleged that Thomas Markle refused his daughter's offer of a security, but said that he was okay. Per the filing, Meghan then received a missed call at 4:57 a.m. on her wedding day. And then in December of 2018, months later, Thomas alleged that he'd been ghosted by Meghan. What do I think happened? I think Meghan rolled all up in there in that hospital room and had his phone. As you know, when a loved one is in the hospital, and especially an older guy, he probably handed her phone, or she said, "Dad, I'll take your phone." And I think she saw the text messages, never shared them with her father, may have told her father that she's never heard from Meghan and Harry, and this is so terrible. But 100%, it is my opinion only in reading this. What I think the possible scenario is that I think the half sister, Samantha, who's had it out for Meghan since the beginning and only has wanted those candlesticks, has got herself involved and treated her. And that is what I believe happened. And I'm glad that I believe that, because with that possibly being the truth, I think that they could possibly make up, especially with her now being in the States. And I have hope for this relationship now. And maybe, hopefully, he's listening to Juicy Scoop. Maybe Samantha is too. But you know what you did. And I think you took his iPhone from him, or maybe he doesn't even have an iPhone. Maybe he has a Samsung. Maybe he has an old flip phone. I don't know. But he, I believe, never saw those text messages. That is my personal opinion. Kelly Dodd got in some trouble, you guys.
You're a dork. That's what you are. Don't talk to him. He's a little twerp.
She has been visiting her fiance back and forth in New York, and she flew home, and people were criticizing her for flying around and not staying put. And she got pissed and got in a conversation with someone under the comments of her post about COVID-19 and said, quote, "COVID-19 is God's way of thinning the herd." Woo! Well, page 6, she got obviously a lot of heat from that. She then deleted it. Just the things that she says are just crazy. So who knows what will happen with them? I have my predictions of what will happen with them, and that's on Patreon, patreon.com/Juicy Scoop. Or you go to heathermcdonald.net for everything. I do have my dates up, you guys. I have dates filling up from August on, and I'm confident that I will be there and the world will be a great place. And so get your tickets. And of course, if for some reason it has to be canceled because of this, your money will be returned. So there you go with that. But you don't want to miss out, because people are already saying they're buying the VIP tickets for Dallas, which is in August. I've got Houston. I've got I got Punchline in Sacramento. I've got Cobb's in San Francisco in November. A bunch of other dates are all there. Okay. Oh, I watched this. Ben Affleck. Let's talk about Ben Affleck and his girlfriend, Anna de Armas. Did I say it right? Okay. She is 31, a very pretty brunette, a classy actress, seems to be working along with a steady career. She was in that movie, All Knives Out, which was, it's just Knives Out. Not all of them, just some of them. Just Knives Out. Anyway, it was like kind of a dark comedy. I did not see it, but I remember it getting good reviews. And she's been dating Ben Affleck, who we know is 47. And some Juicy Scoopers posted this on Juicy Scoop Obsessed. The amount of paparazzi photos that we've caught of them wearing masks out, and it just seems a little odd. And people are a little suspect, being that Ben Affleck's been in the limelight for a long time. He certainly knows how to avoid the public. But I do think he's always used the paparazzi when he wants to. He didn't want them taking those photos of him getting that last Jack in a Box burger before going to rehab. He didn't want that photo taken. What? Or his giant back-to-back tattoo. But when he's playing with his kids at that park off of Coldwater, he doesn't mind when people are taking the photos of that, and neither does Jennifer Garner. And so the two of them hanging out, I don't know. Someone said, not me, said, I think it's to possibly boost his reputation. Like, he is back, he is clean, he's looking good, he's trim again, he's not puffy, he's not drinking, he's wearing a mask, so don't be mad at him. And, this is post-rehab, and he's very apologetic now about what he's done in the past in interviews. And then for her, it can only be great for her because she's, an aspiring actress. Not aspiring, she's an actress, but it'll boost her profile. And again, for him, she's a good choice. She's a legit actress. She's not like some webcam girl or some Instagram model. She's a brunette. I think that always helps people when they date a brunette. Unfortunately, no prejudice against blondes, Kelly, but it does. I just think people have like a little bit like, okay, she's brunette. Jennifer Garner was brunette. You're, getting back to it. Oh, they're here. They're hugging without masks. That might have been pre-corona. Oh, here they are back with the masks. Um, just out a lot out on the streets. I'm not walking Ventura Boulevard. If I'm out, I'm walking like in my neighborhood, but they are out just cuddling with the masks. So that's kind of interesting to see that. Also, there's this new show called Women Who Kill, and it's on the CBS Access app, I guess. I'm going to watch it, but I was watching it. There's this, I didn't know if it was like different episodes, but there was this one with Jennifer Goodwin. And I don't know if I know anyone saw this trailer that's going around Facebook. It's like over 5 minutes. And it looks very juicy. It's like takes place in like the 50s or the early 60s. They showed so much of this show that I literally was like, what do I have to look forward to? Because I'm watching the trailer and I'm on the edge of my seat because there's like 12 plot points that they put out in the first 5 minutes. And I just want to talk to the marketing people. Was that such a great idea? I don't know. But then you guys wrote underneath and you said it is good and you liked it. So I'm going to watch that. I'm currently watching Little Fires Everywhere with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. It's on Hulu. It is so good, you guys. Tonight, which is Wednesday, is the finale. But of course, binge it. That's why I'm not going to talk about it right now so I don't get angry messages. But you will like it. You could watch it with your teenagers. I'd say make sure your teenagers like at least like 13, 14. But it's very juicy. It takes place in the 90s. There's a young Reese Witherspoon when they do a flashback that's fabulous. And I want to say to Reese, thank you for staying in your lane. That's all. I really appreciate it. Very good. I get more into it. I'll get more into it on Patreon and other things once you guys have seen it. It's very good. All right, let's get into Vanderpump Rules. All right, you guys, it got real good last night because it was their Witches of WeHo like wine event at the farmhouse in Los Angeles. And as we know, Stassi and Katie want nothing to do with Kristen. And I discussed this coming up in a couple minutes with my interview with Lala and her fiance Randall, and about the breakup of their friendship. And Lala says, that, and I just wanted to make sure you catch it because when I was listening back to it, I think she kind of like skimmed over it. But one thing really juicy Lala gets into is that Kristen wanted this aspect of her life to be seen on the show. Her fighting with Carter constantly, her like up and down relationship with this guy Carter. And so the girls, Stassi and Kristen, I interpret this as they then brought it up on the show, made it part of the show, which if she had said, I'm going through a really hard time with Carter, please don't bring it up on camera. Please, it's very personal. They probably would have respected that too. But in fact, she said, do it, is the way I'm understanding it. And then once they did it, then she went on to confessionals and to them saying like, oh my God, you guys are so hard on me about Carter. And they're like, well, what? So that is where I think that they kind of were at their limit with it. Now they've already committed to be selling these wines together. And this WeHo wine, or Witches of WeHo, being West Hollywood wine. And Stassi's killing it. She's got a lot of other things going on with her book and her tour and this and that. She doesn't want to be dealing with this wine, which I kind of feel bad because Katie's just stuck in the middle. Katie's like, yeah, Stassi's not into it, but Stassi's got a lot going on. So I guess we're just going to let this thing go after this, this last, event. And all Stassi's supposed to do, according to Kristen, is post about it, which she's refusing to do. But she does show up at this event, which Kristen had to do everything for. They show her getting the cute little witchy poo pots, how they'd like burn a witch at the stake to put the wine in. And she's hauling that shit from her little Valley Village house. She orders her step and repeat, which she has to put together herself, which, by the way, I got that early on in the Juicy Scoop days. It's a huge pain in the ass. I used to travel with a big one. Like that would fit in like the size of in fact, I think I used one of Peter's old golf, like the golf bags that you would put on a plane to travel with. I used to put it in that and like drag it through the airport and then set it up myself. Oh God, what a pain in the asshole. Anyway, so what I didn't realize is that Beau I guess Kristen and Beau knew each other for many years before, and Kristen is the one who introduced Beau to Stassi. And at a previous wedding, not previous wedding, at the Kentucky wedding of Jack's, we're getting married, y'all, to Brittany, she said, we're friends. I know it's weird with Stassi, but what do you mean you're not going to be a friend? And Beau's like, Stassi's my priority. Stassi's my everything. And she's like, okay, but we're friends. So at the event, now, according to the show, it's the day before Beau is going to ask her to marry him, okay, which we're going to see next week. And they are currently engaged. He goes up to Kristen and they start talking. And Stassi is just pissed. She's like, what are you doing? If I'm your everything, why would you have to be talking to her at all? We're not friends anymore, therefore. And he goes, okay, but I mean, she is the one that introduced me to the group. So what? So what? So she starts to lose it, which is really kind of fun to see that old Stassi come out, because if you watch the show from the beginning, which, by the way, they just did a big marathon on yesterday, Tuesday, and I watched the pilot, and it's crazy. Stassi and Jax are in love. Kristen and Sandoval are in love, and then Katie and Schwartz are in love. And it's like after a long shift at Pump, or not Pump, because when they're around, it was Sir, and they're all like sitting on their boyfriend's laps, and it's just like the cool kids in high school. And then Sheena's like the girl from the other side of the tracks that just started working there. It's amazing. And Katie wants to own her own record label. I'm like, why? I joined this train like only like 3 or 4 seasons ago. So I had never seen it. And it's just really fun to watch it evolve. And I want to thank Bravo for not making us watch old dry bar movies anymore like they do. Like, oh, it's a movie day with Bravo. We don't want to see the movies. We want to see this. Full days of reruns of old housewife franchises, and they've been doing that, and it's very comforting this time. Anyway, who knows what's going to happen? Well, we know what's going to happen. They're going to get engaged, but I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, with the rest of the season, which is why I wanted to talk to Lala and Randall, and here they are, and she drops a lot of juice, so much juice that I had to put it in tomorrow, Friday, Patreon's episode, along with some other stuff that I will talk about. So check out Patreon. You go to heathermcdonald.net or patreon.com/juicyscoop. And there's so much extra content there for you guys. And it really helps support the show. So check that out. And here we go with Give Them Lala, ... with Randall.